Hey, what's up? It's Mr. Bill. The track you're listening to right now is the result of a 35-hour tutorial series where I recorded the process of making this song from start to finish and explained myself along the way. If you're interested in learning how to make music or sharpening your craft, go to MrBillsTunes.com and check it out. Enjoy the tune.
Hey, you're listening to the Mr. Bill podcast.
Hey, you're listening to the Mr. Bill podcast.
Hey, you are listening to the Mr. Bill podcast.
Hey, you're 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 listening to the Mr. Bill podcast. Hey, you're listening to the Mr. Bill podcast.
Hey, you're listening to the Mr. Bill podcast.
Hey, you're listening to the Mr. Bill podcast.
Hey, you're listening to the Mr. Bill podcast.
Sick. Well, yeah, thanks for joining and doing this podcast. I appreciate it.
Pleasure.
And yeah, the stems were good. Basically, I've been trying to like rearrange it to make a bit more sense. I felt like it was like a lot of different sections that didn't make a lot of sense together. So I'm trying to like make three, like basically a psytrance section and like a bass house section and then a dubstep section. I'm trying to figure out which way they need to go.
Yeah, that's what I was figuring as well. I thought to do the beginning is fine. Then I thought moving to more of the psytrance thing and then coming back to bass. The in between was a bit messy. I felt that, yeah, but whatever you think.
It's hard to combine those styles. Like psytrance is so clean and like so not necessarily formulaic, but like it sounds like psytrance, you know, whereas dubstep obviously I don't know, it's hard to combine the two because one is so like loud and distorted and fucked up and the other one's super clean. The psytrance section you made though was awesome. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it was good, and then Erez changed that with the chord. It was great with the thing. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, totally. What have you guys been up to lately? What are you working on?
Well, we're doing a bunch of stuff actually. We're doing something that unexpected is like we're working on a video game for a long time.
Oh, nice.
And so we can't wait to show people something about this. It's in VR and it's a very fun project. It's Unreal Engine 5 and we're first going to release some teaser of a pinball and it's going to be really crazy. Sound design is really fun side of it and very psychedelic game. So this is. Are you
having to mix it in like that 360 sound thing for VR?
It's happening automatic within the engine. So Unreal Engine have like tools inside that you just place an object and the sound comes from there. So it's really easy.
Crazy. Yeah, I did some music once for a VR project called Racket or something like that. It's like a ping pong game and there was just music in it. And they sent me like this tracker by waves that you attach to your headphones and it connects via Bluetooth to your computer. And then like as you move your head, it like knows where your head is in space and like pans the...
Racket NX.
Racket NX.
We had tracks there as well.
Did you have to do the same thing with the headphone thing?
Yeah, we gave them stems and stuff, and they did.
It's super weird, that wave thing that you move inside. It feels weird. I don't know, and to mix with it was kind of weird. But yeah, we did it as well with waves.
Yeah, the AirPods have it as well now. The AirPods Max.
Yeah.
I fucking hate it. I don't even know how to turn it off.
I don't know what to do with these.
It's horrible. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you lose totally the center. Like you want to hear the clarity of the details of the track. I don't want to hear a reverb on top, you know?
Yeah, have you listened to the AirPods Max when an aeroplane is taking off? It's so fucked. It like destroys your ears. It goes and like fucks up your hearing and stuff. Because I guess like the sound pressure of the plane is too much for the thing to, and it's very loud and it's like very unstable noise. So like can't cancel it out properly. It just creates this crazy pressure in your ear.
And I think regardless, in reality, we're not canceling anything. We're just blasting our ears with opposite direction of phase, you know? So actually we just adding more volume to our ears. So we're not really...
So is it actually...
Our brain cancels it, but our ears get the volume.
Damn, so noise cancelling is actually bad for your ears?
I think so. I'm not an expert, but that's my
Not
understanding
sure.
of it.
We roll with it because it's fun on the plane, but is it good for you? I don't know.
But I know that they blast back to you the frequencies just the opposite phase-ish, so...
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I didn't know it was bad for your hearing, though, because if it goes in opposite directions, that means the speaker doesn't move either, right? That's why it nulls out in the first place, does it not?
If you have two speakers, left and right, blasting opposite phase, the speakers are still blasting each one the thing, but the room cancels it, right? But when it comes to your ears, there's no room in between. It's just your brain. You see what I'm saying? So
I always thought it was the speaker that canceled it, because the way a wave works is like it goes up, the speaker goes out, and it goes down, and the speaker sucks back in.
yeah,
But if you tell it to go up and down at the same time, it just cancels and the speaker just stays there.
if you stay mono. But if in real life you keep left as one phase and right in different phase, and you have actually real two different speakers in real life canceling each other, not on a mono channel, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Interesting. Well, fuck, I don't want to wear noise canceling
Anyway,
headphones.
it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It makes your plane quiet. That's fine. I don't care. So
Also,
damage my brain. My brain is already getting speakers for 30 years in full distortion with mid. So I don't think a little bit of noise canceling. I don't think a little bit of noise canceling will destroy that.
yeah, good point.
Yeah.
So what's the game about? Is it like an infected mushroom game, or is it like a completely different concept for the game?
It's all infected mushroom game. It's based on our albums, and it's very, very psychedelic oriented. And we played a bunch of VR games that I found some are fun, some are very like repetitive, and we just try to hopefully come out of the box and surprise people with our weird minds,
Nice. Yeah, it's awesome that you're like reaching out into all sorts of different avenues, like tech avenues, like making plugins and making games and all sorts of stuff. I feel like I've had this theory for a while recently about AI. Like all of a sudden, I'm basically as good as a programmer now that has like 10 years experience, because I can just go to ChatGPT and say like, make me a thing that does X, Y, Z, and it just writes the code for me. And I'm like basically as good as like an artist, like a visual artist who's like done 3D shit for 10 years, because I can go to Stability AI and just go like Stable Diffusion, do this and that, and it can just do it. Not to say that obviously, like I'm not saying I'm as good as these people. Like, somebody who has access to like audio shit, I wouldn't consider like as good as me using audio tools for like 20 years. But at some point, maybe in the next year or two, this will be the case. Like somebody who has no audio experience is automatically like a professional producer. And I think once we have once we're able to condense the time that it takes to learn shit down to like a few days instead of a whole lifetime, the combination of programming, video engine stuff, programming, music, all of that kind of stuff, like the way that people will combine them, I think will become like the most interesting thing.
With Neuralink as well.
Yeah.
You just think about it, you just think about things, like communicate. Like we can do this podcast just without anything, just thinking, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's possible.
I think that, but because of the creation of because of the AI integrating more into the music, I think it will become even more repetitive and boring. Because again, the pool that the AI is pulling from is what the 90% of musicians is doing. So it's just, for me, it's like the same as you have a keyboard today that does your chord progression and everything. It's cool and it gives you an idea and it helps you. But if you don't change it yourself and do something with it yourself, then it's just the same old shit that is out there, And it's still up to the producer. It maybe will make his life shorter and, and give him idea. But if you bring somebody, as you mentioned before, without the audio experience and the knowledge to make music, it will just sound repetitive and boring, in my opinion. That's my issue with AI. So is it a good assistant? Yeah. It's a great assistant. It's actually the best assistant. That's why ChatGPT is so successful, But
you need to put it in the right hands.
Yeah. The hands, it depends who uses it, for what purpose. And
yeah, you can use ChatGPT in like incredibly creative ways, and you can also use it in incredibly boring ways too.
Boring ways, So yeah, and if you go back to the percentage, the percentage is going to be more towards the boring way, in my opinion. Because hey, a lot of people will say now, hey, I want to be an audio creator with no knowledge. I have Chat GPT. I go, okay, but would it sound as good as somebody that has been doing music for 20 years and using Chat GPT? I don't think so. So that's my point with this whole AI thing that is coming up in major steps now into the music business.
Yeah, I mean, what somebody who hasn't used audio at all, like the ideas that would occur to them in the way to use the tool would be completely different.
Completely
in the way
different.
That would occur for somebody who has a lot of experience in that field to use the tool for sure. But I've been using this thing lately called dance diffusion, and you can train it on like a pool of any audio you want. So it only trains on 3-second chunks at the moment. So it's kind of shitty for making music, but it's really good for making one shots. So I'll train it on just like a ton of snares that I like, or like a ton of kicks that I like. And then now I have some models that can just generate like 1,000 kicks or 1,000 snares for me overnight while I sleep, which is kind of cool.
Also, definitely it helps. It's like, listen, back in the day when Splice came out, everybody says, oh, what's going on? Everybody uses the same sound. But the thing with Splice is there's so many good stuff in there and so many ideas. It helps you with the creation. But again, it depends who uses it. That's what I'm saying. The AI is a great tool. And of course, it's fast. And if it gives you now 1,000 snares that you can use on the spot, but you have the knowledge of which snares do you want to begin with, you know? So, and so that's what I'm saying. Will it help somebody else? I don't know, it will, but it will sound really repetitive and boring, in my opinion. But again, I'm not against that progression because it's coming. It's coming hard. It's going to be implemented in every door, in my opinion.
And that's putting it nice. He's talking nice because he knows AI listens right now. And he just don't want AI to revenge in.
No. I don't give a shit because, in my opinion, AI will eliminate us. It's the next species. So I'm going to move to a very secluded part in the United States, like next to Tiger King in Oklahoma, and then I will be considered irrelevant for the AI. So that's my plan.
Because you won't be in its way.
Correct. So that's my major plan. So I'm not afraid of AI listening to me. So that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I've noticed with the training models to do music stuff is it's all about curating the data set on which you train it on. Because if you just like give something every single noise possible, then the average of every single noise is just white noise basically, or silence, one of the two. So you have to be like really careful about what you train models on to get any sort of like reasonable output out of it.
Yeah, good result.
So yeah, exactly. And also if you train it on like a bunch of loops and the loops are all different tempos and shit, then it also just gives you like pretty unusable stuff. Whereas if you train it on just jungle breaks that are just 172 BPM, then it will give you something useful. So I found like a big part of the art form with AI is actually like the curation of the data set. Like, oh, I'm going to put like 70% of these types of kick drums in, and then like 30% of like these kind of different types of kick drums to get that like 70-30 blend. Or you can like train a whole model on one type of stuff and another whole model on another type of stuff, and then you can interpolate them by a certain percentage. So you can say, I want like 50% of this model and then 50% of this model, or 60-40 or whatever.
I think there are also the options that comes with the vocal capacities, you train them on vocal models, and then you get all the stuff like lalas, all this, that you sound like someone else, and it's only going to sound better and better in every month now. It's just crazy how fast it just grows. So.
Yeah, I think it's all got, like, I think at this point, the ability to generate vocals is almost as good as human sounding vocals now, so long as you train it on a solid data set. And it's just hard to get those data sets. Like the people who have trained the Drake voices, they've only trained it on Drake acapellas that exist out there, and Drake acapellas that they've like used FFT shit to split the stems out of and stuff like that. And that's why they currently sound bad. But if you actually took like thousands and thousands of hours of like actual Drake recordings from the studio, they would just sound like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they'll sound the same.
But it's still fun.
It is fun, yeah. The other thing that's tough with vocals is if you give a model every single word, it starts to just generate stuff that sounds like the average of all words. So it might sound like English to a non-English speaker, but to like somebody who speaks English, that would just be like, that's gibberish. It sounds like like it's generating random sort of mashups of every single word, basically.
Yeah.
Are you still working on plugins for Polyverse?
Yeah, we have a lot of stuff coming out. Some of them are harder to finish than others because we're always trying to release version 1 to be very good and very stable. And and also always thinking about removing unnecessary features and trying to be more focused on the point, that to make just one very interesting let's say tool that makes unique stuff that hopefully don't exist much in the market,
Yeah, like Manipulator, I feel like was that, or Supermodal as well, I think is a good example.
Yeah, and at the time also I wish plugin, I haven't seen anything back then that does it. Even though after talking with Steve Duda, he made something that I think did it, but I'm not sure if he released it or not. He showed it to me, so he had like something that I had no idea that he did.
Huh, that's cool. Yeah, he's a really good developer, man. I still think Serum is pretty unmatched for synths.
He's the master. We love him. He's like such a crazy, beautiful guy, genius. And he just did something that we all needed,
Yeah, basically took Massive and just made it way better.
But also the wavetable generation and stuff, drag and drop stuff that he made really easy, and he just made it very, very, very precise and very well thought. Every detail there he thought about it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, he was an engineer for a long time, right? He engineered a lot of Nine Inch Nails stuff and worked, in that field for a long time. So I guess he kind of had a good idea about where everything was lacking at the right time,
Yeah.
So that's cool. What kind of plugins are you working on at the moment? What do they do?
Well, we have a huge set of very special filters. I thought I played them to you when you came over.
Was that Supermodal? Was that plugin?
Yeah, you heard one. You heard Supermodel as well. But we have a few interesting stuff. I want to say even it sounds like phaser-ish kind of stuff. One of the upcoming stuff. So it's even in this phaser we have a unique take that whenever it comes out you're gonna see why it's so special. I don't want to expose something too early before it's out, but this year we have some exciting things coming out, and we're also working on a synth-based, let's call it, a device that's on the finishing. We're almost there, but it's hard to tell exactly when it's going to be stable.
Did you say sync-based as in aligning phase of things, or?
No, it's like a synthesizer kind of.
Oh, synth-based, gotcha.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you said sync-based.
So we have a very interesting, very unique ways to create waveforms. Finally using some unique oscillators, and the oscillators they have no aliasing at all, and that's something that's hard to achieve in a computer. Anyway, as soon as it's gonna come out, you're gonna hopefully enjoy it.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I've really enjoyed the other plugins that you made, so I look forward to it. Are you guys doing shows at the moment or taking a break to do other shit?
No breaks. A lot of shows, every weekend shows this month, especially going back, Mexican tours, Brazil, Europe, and
we did Electric Forest, was sick.
Electric Forest, sick, nice. One of the best, and there's a lot of shows, and working on an album that will come pretty soon, which is called Reborn, which is also an interesting project we started a few years back. It's basically redoing very old tracks that has no files in our days, but with the sound of today, but not with an arrangement of today. That I want it to sound like then, with the sound of today. So, and technically you think it's easy, but it's completely not.
Because our attention spans have gone down the drain.
It's because exactly. It's not also our attention plan. Our minds is in a different place. You are not the same guy when you were 16 or 15. You have way more knowledge in sound and in engineering and in building. But if you go and do a track of yourself with no files from 20 years ago, it will not sound the same, even if you want it to sound the same. So it's a kind of fun project that we were doing for very old tracks. Some of them never came out, to be honest. And it's been an interesting to do it and then play it in events, and also play it in events for older people that really like the music from back in the day, but don't get a chance to hear it because it either had bad sound or whatever and stuff. So it's a fun project to work on.
It's very weird, to open
call it
project
Reborn.
from 27 years ago.
Yeah.
You open a project. Like, what files do we have left from
There's
27
nothing there.
years ago?
There's nothing.
Luckily, we burned CDs. It was a Mitsui brand.
Mitsui CDs. I still have them here.
They still run the gold Mitsui gold.
Wait, so you would like put the project file on a CD?
Yeah, look.
Oh wow, Jesus. Wait, so you would put the...
Let me show you.
You put
This
the
is
project on there?
Show us some
backup
project over
audio
there.
for Never Ever Land. Never Never Land is from our third album that came out in 2001. So this is a CD that was backed up as an audio file 22 years ago.
Wait, so you would back up the song as the whole audio file, or you would back up just the parts of the song?
Well, we used to back up waves and Akai files, which nobody has an Akai to open today. So because we used to chop loops in Akai. Erez used to sit on the Akai for hours and chop loops, and we used to back that. And we have some backups of SoundForge. It's a weird backup system. So, and then when you open the track, you say, okay, this lead, I hope we had it backed up. No, it's not backed up. So we used to back up what we thought then will be relevant, and again, it doesn't make any sense. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, the analog gear like Juno, and so we used to save the the side checks and stuff, of the presets, but now we don't have the Juno anymore, and whatever it is. So, but it's not that hard to recreate these sounds.
No,
we were
now when we
sound designers at the time, so
correct. And when we curate, you recreate the bass of Juno, and then you want it sounding as today. Jack, back in the day, Juno had a lot of noise. It has this character of it, and now today you can cancel that. So it's different, sound-wise, it's all different. Of course, you're going to choose a kick of today and not a kick from back in the day. But I'm talking about the arrangement. I'm talking about the idea, and I'm talking about the sounds. It's not as easy to recreate a track and make it sound the same back in the day. It will sound different and a little bit different from what it was.
Right. And when you're like doing this process, are you staying pretty true to the arrangements that you had back then?
Yes.
Or are you sometimes deciding actually that whole section was like...
So the thing is,
that's where we argue most of the time.
Okay.
In my opinion, when you do a project like that, this is not a remix. I'm not doing a remix now to make it a banger for dance floor dubstep lovers. That's not my idea of this project. The project is to do it the same, and that it will impact the people who used to say, oh, the story on that track back in the day, you don't do that shit anymore. And he's right. A, we choose not to do it, and B, we just don't do it. So it's in between keeping the same arrangement, and maybe when you do a rise of back in the day, so you add a little bit of a new rise to it, but still keep it kind of the same vibe, So that's how I see this project being made. Same for the melodies, you do the melodies. So if it's a TB303, you do the TB303, but then maybe you add something more interesting to it from our days. But the arrangement is almost the same.
Okay. So you're actually like, are you staying true to the tone as well?
Basically,
where you make stuff sort of more dull and subdued like it was back in the day, or are you putting OTT on shit and like boosting it?
We're not fans of OTT.
Yeah,
but,
what? OTT is awesome.
I know, but I don't know why it just doesn't work for us so many times. Like we did use it a few times, but a lot of times maybe just the way we choose to sound design is just different than, I don't know.
Especially back in the day when we did our first, second, third album, okay? the thing that is very common to a producer today is side chaining the kick and the bass, that they will not interfere back. This was not even suggested then. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Now it creates a very bad sound, but it creates also melodies and stuff with a unique kind of vibe that you will today not do.
Yeah, because you have to like be more cognizant of the arrangements, like of how everything interacts if you're not using sidechaining.
Yeah.
Zero sidechaining back in the day.
Also, when you have bad sounds and the sound design is not that interesting, so you need to compensate with melodies or compensate with, more clever MIDI parts, let's call it,
Yes.
Yeah,
So
makes
it's a
sense.
completely different writing, a completely different vibe, and we were completely different people 25 years ago.
Yeah,
so
Duvdev had way more hair back then.
way more hair. I was double the crazy that I am, and Erez spent most of his time in a studio. So
I had
these
no
were the
life.
days, and I would come and
I had the
sleep
life.
and sleep at that studio. So it's a different when you try to recreate tracks from that period. It was very interesting, very funny, and even the melodies sometimes, melodies that are not used today, and we recreate them. It's fun for me. It was fun, and now playing it again, and I get it. I get why people fell in love with those stuff back then. So that's the Reborn project, and I think it's really, really cool. And the from our fans at least, the people are waiting for it for sure.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I'm stoked to hear it.
Yeah,
Speaking of OTT, if you look at if you just get a saw wave and you put OTT on it and you look at it through an oscilloscope, you can see it makes it all it fucks the phase of it up. I recently found a file online that some Galaxy Brain person made where it takes the phase difference that OTT adds and flips it. So you put a impulse device on the end of it, like an impulse reverb or whatever, and you put in this file that does the opposite phase to OTT, and it fixes it again. Who the fuck thinks of that shit?
Good times.
Yeah,
I want
I
to
don't
meet
know,
this person. He sounds interesting.
His name is Nasco. He's on Twitter. He's constantly updating shit
Girls'
with
marriage material over there.
That's never had a date in the last 15.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe not.
I have no idea.
So, how do you guys handle all of the flying? You said you went Mexico and then to Europe and Brazil, and how do you handle it? Because I fly every weekend, most weekends, and I fly from here to Oklahoma and then Philadelphia or something, and then back home, and I can barely handle that. I don't know how you handle it.
So I gotta say,
over here, army material.
It's first.
True. Yeah.
It's so because of army material. In fact, the Mushroom has been touring for so many years and all over the world, and so many flights. I think it was harder on us back in the day than today, because today, me and Erez, we're family people. We have kids, and we have so much stuff going on besides music. Music takes 5% of the day if we're lucky. So we have so much shit going on. So when we go on those weekends, we technically close ourselves from the world and go back to what we do. So
right, it's relaxing in comparison to your general life.
100%, because I live in the car because of so much errands I have to do for my kids and for my daily life. So I live in the car. So I go on Thursday to a tour and come back on Sunday or Monday. This is devoted only for shows, talking music, doing this, doing that. So for me, it's kind of an escape from my real life. So I don't find it as exhausting. It is sometimes exhausting. Of course, if you do next week, we have a tour in Mexico, that's easy. But then we fly to Europe to Shankara Festival, and from there fly to Brazil for 2 other festivals and coming back to LA. That's insane.
Fuck
flying, insane routing, insane shows. And then we come back, I'm tired, okay, or jet lagged or whatever. But still, it's still an escape. And I love being on festivals. I love playing out there and testing the music. And it's fun. It's fun to take what you do on the studio and test it all the time. And a weird thing is, each time we get to test, let's say we test the Reborn on this festival, and then we come to a new festival and we test the new collaboration with Ganja White Night, which is a completely different style of music, and we can test it on that festival. So it's the biggest testing ground and see what works and what not. And this has always been our case.
Speaking of army shit, did you guys both go to the army? Because for those listening who aren't aware, Israel still has conscription, right? Where like when you're 18, you have to go to the army until you're like 21 or something. Is that right?
Correct. So mandatory for guys to do 3 years and girls do 2 years, 18 to 20. Still mandatory until today. I did the army, but again, I was when people say, "Okay, the Duvdev the warrior," let's be clear. I was a clerk with a bunch of girls, and I had parties all the time when I've been in the army. So I did learn general. I did learn what to do with, let's say, guns or stuff like that. But again, I was.
He's half a ninja. Half a ninja.
I am half a ninja, but I get the training, but I never used it. So it was fun times. And 3 years have passed, and day after the army, I went to Goa, India, to party. So, and then goes my.
A lot of people do that, don't they? They like do the army, and then they go travel directly after to like clear their head or something.
Correct, exactly. After 3 years in the army, you want to clear your head. So most Israelis, on the age of 21, they go for 1 year either to South America, India, whatever, to clear their mind, and then they come back, and then we do what's called college here in the United States. When you go 18 or university, 18 to 21. So we get very late. We go very late to school, college, or whatever. We start at 22. So that's the Israeli way. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, Israel's an interesting place, man. They have the best security teams in the world. All sorts of shit. Yeah, there was this like thing. I think it was made by the Israeli. I think is it the NSA there or whatever it's called, the NSO maybe. They made this thing called Pegasus, which is like this crazy 0-day thing. Do you know about this thing?
Yeah, we played for them.
Yeah, we played for them. NSO is a big security company, which is, by the way, it's so funny. They're hired by everyone, and then by the Americans, and then they went blacklisted on this and that and that. So that's the politics behind it. But yes, Israel is very high in what we call tech, and we have so many tech going on there. From if you go music, from Waze to if you go security to NSO, and another side, if you go Waze, we developed the app, and it's a huge tech country.
USB.
Yeah.
They invented USB.
Yeah.
Intel, which all the research is in Israel. Listen, it's a very tech for a small country. It's a very tech country, and for me, again, the best thing in Israel is not the tech, is the food. So
the food in Israel is insanely good.
That is what, a lot of people are asking about infected mushroom. We're all about food. We have, for God's sake, an album called The Legend of the Black Shawarma. I don't think you can name a lot of bands that did an album on shawarma. So we're foodies. We grew up in Israel. Food is our thing, and we like to joke about it. But you know what? We have so many tracks about food, and each time we eat something, okay, we gotta this deserves a track. This place is so good. And Frank's, Pastor, and so that's in my opinion, in Israel, food is the best thing out of this country.
Do you guys consider yourself a band or like an electronic music project, more one or the other?
No, I mean, we don't write as a band, so it's just Duvdevani. We just write, and sometimes we collab with other people. But majority of the time it's just us writing, but the live shows, you're right. Like we have, guitar player and drummer, and sometimes more, like orchestras and stuff. And,
back in the day, we used to differentiate ourselves each time. We used to 10 years. We used to say, okay, we're just a band. Don't call us DJs. Don't book us for DJ shows and stuff like that. But then we started DJing a little bit and say, oh, that's different. This is fun. Let's do this and stuff. So today, we don't care if you see us as a band or a DJ duo or producers. What's constant is, and Erez said it, it's always me and him. So we don't write with other people. But again, the vibe of the band and playing with the band is one of the most fun thing we do on the road. As opposed to DJ, we also have fun. So we just... It's infected mushroom. You get it. You don't get it. We have so much music. You want to taste it. You want to check it out. You want to come see a live band show. You get a different experience, and that's what it is.
Would you say more of your shows these days are DJing or with a band?
Lately,
It's more DJing because not because we became lazy. It's because festivals and promoters, they prefer the DJ sets because of their stages. They have a
Yeah,
ready
it's
stage. Correct.
logistically
It's a
way easier for
logistical
them.
issue. They have a ready stage. They don't want to put another stage on it. They don't want to. So we do that. But sometimes when we do the live, for me, being on a live set of Infected Mushroom is the most fun. We enjoy
For sure.
we enjoy it more than a DJ set. We are hanging out with the whole band. It's always fun, and that's what. If you ask me on the road, if I prefer to be as a DJ band or a band, I prefer doing the band shows.
Interesting. Yeah. And how do you build these? Like, how do you stem stuff out, and like what parts do you decide to remove and keep in? And like, how do you run it all to front of house and stuff like that? I'm curious, like, because I've done this before, and I'm just curious how you guys solve, because it's like basically a problem to solve, right? It's like this crazy fucking
So
creative and tech problem.
So there's two let's say solutions that we came up with. First, we like to improvise. And so in live shows, we try to play a lot of melodies that don't exist in a track. And so what you get is like a new version of the track every live show you come. It's just going to be improvised. Who knows what melody is going to play, and who knows if the guitar player will play this, or I will, or Duvdev's going to make weird effects with his vocal, And in the same time, contradicting that, we do have to play the famous parts, like Becoming Insane or whatever it is. Like there's some famous melodies, so we do play the known parts sometimes, but the rest is all improvised. So it's like we remove vocals and we remove maybe some distortion guitar sometimes, but we prefer to add to the track live. So a lot of times we can just play the track from the computer as is, if it doesn't have vocals, and then we do a lot of things on top, which is way more exciting, I think.
Yeah.
And another main thing is we took the drum kick from the drummer, which is very hard to do. So what we do, we move to an electronic kit, and we just muted the volume of the bass, because you cannot mute his leg. He's always playing the leg,
Yeah.
But
He's used to it.
So we just muted that, and that makes the kick is always there. Kick and bass are always there, and then all of the other stuff are improvisation, and it's fun. I forget the lyrics most of the time, so you hear different lyrics. Erez plays whatever he's on that mood that night. The guitarists. They go for it, and it's just fun, and we improvise, and some stuff stay in the live, some stuff we do for so many years that became a part of the live thing. And
sometimes we say to whoever it is don't do this again. In the next show, it was horrible. This part was disgusting. Don't do it again.
Yeah, don't go for it. And
it's okay,
And each musician brings his own character. Our latest guitarist, let's say Yossi Mizrahi, who just so he's a guitarist that is also a producer. So for him, he likes to do tricks with the guitar, like doing a tone and then pitch it up and goes forever. So he goes to that direction of playing, and that's cool. And that added another aspect to the band. So we have
a crazy chain for him for Yossi, the guitar player.
Crazy chain,
wild to program.
Yeah.
Damn.
So. We used to do some. We used to use the plugins I Wish and Manipulator and stuff like that on my voice for some of the show. Gatekeeper, and Erez literally plays with my vocals or in the tail of the vocals. So that's
Duvdev gives me like a source, and then he is my oscillator, and then I play on him, and then on his voice with Manipulator, and then add distortion on top, and Comet and all this kind of stuff, and it's fun.
And the main thing, we perfected our stage that it will be fly ready, and that's a big preparation.
The band thing is crazy logistics, man. I did it once, and I'll never do it again. It was
correct.
Way too hard.
It's crazy. So we made the system with this our tour sound guy manager, Israeli. He's crazy about OCD order and organization. So he built these suitcases that fit the mixers. And everything is cut. So we fly in, fly out, as almost as easy as a DJ set. Not easy as that, but almost as easy as that because we bring everything with us. We have backup for everything. We have a battery that holds the whole equipment. It was Erez and this guy, they thought about this for years, and each year we perfect that, and that's the main thing of an electronic live band touring is easy fly in and outs.
Right.
That's the main thing. Yeah.
Yeah, this guy name is Tsafi Avigdor.
Yeah, he's crazy.
He's amazing.
Tsafi. Yeah.
Yeah, so I did the same thing once. I did a live set with a drummer, and then I had two visual guys actually doing like sync visual shit. And I was sending, I had two triggers on my drummer's kick and snare, and they would send to two triggers that would trigger two noise oscillators, like just as a click, and that would sidechain everything that I was doing. And then I was sending out of my MIDI controller and from his kick and snare and from my other controllers MIDI through OSC to the visual guys, and then every time I would like press a button or something, it would like trigger a piece of video and stuff like that. It was like this whole ass thing, and we did it in a Sprinter van, and I did like 35 shows, and the tour grossed like 30 grand, so it was less than $1,000 a show, and we all had to sleep in the van, and it was fucking horrible, man.
And this is what, when we talk about touring, and people always ask why we don't do this. The main thing about a tour, besides looking great, sounding great, and is actually not losing money. Let's leave aside making money. And B, as big as it gets, you have to tour it longer just to break even and make money. And and the preparation and the booking and the back end of that tour is insane amount of work, and you need a lot of people that they know what they're doing. And this is the real problem of touring. Everybody goes like, let's go on a tour, book 50 place. Try booking 50 place from now. Now you decide until the next 2 years, everybody's going to go to tell you, oh, it's already booked. And then you go oh, okay, so what am I supposed to do? Go to different venues, booked, go to this. So it's a very difficult thing to do. And we learned it the hard way, and the big tours we've done, they were like hard. And we toured like 2.5 years to just break even and just to make it a viable thing. So it's very difficult. And each time we go on tour, I go like, why the hell did I come into this again? But hey, it's fun, so whatever.
We had this fun 3D projection mapping tour, Fungus Among Us, the two spheres kind of thing, and it was hard to project on a circle, blah, blah, blah. But it was fun technically, but it was so challenging, and
dude, I did the exact same thing with an inflatable bill, like my character, the potato bill thing. I had a big inflatable version of it and tried to project onto that. And the day after we like started doing it, we're like, fuck this. And we just made like a cutout of him, like just a flat surface. And then we projected on him, but made the visual look 3D. And we're like, that makes way more fucking sense.
That's good, yeah.
Again, this is things that also happen in the road. We had a tour called Animatronica. It was a huge robotic mushrooms that move, and they shoot lasers and stuff like that. And the guys that built it, they're guys from Burning Man. They built the octopus, El Pupo, it shoots fire and everything. So the first show, we come into Best Buy after theater, a sold out show in New York, and everything is like, planned in months, and everything is like down to the details. And we come in, and the mushroom doesn't come into the door. Because in the advance, they said they have this kind of door, but they don't. So imagine your whole production is sitting on the street and sold out live show, first show of the tour. What do you do? So I call my manager. He goes like, Duvdev, there's only one way to put this mushroom into the venue. I go like, what? He goes like, we cut it in half and we reassemble it inside the venue. And that's what we did. So this is insane, So I'm just letting this. People don't know the story, but you get a heart attack on the road every day when you do a massive tour production.
Need solutions,
you need solutions. Yeah.
Even if they're crazy, but it's
crazy solutions.
Yeah. Same thing happened to me when I did that same tour. It's like some of the production just wouldn't fit like on the stage or through the doors.
It's just and with the advancing and everything, and then they go like, no, this is not going to
What
work.
about some shows that don't let us in? Like, who are you?
Yeah,
Security guys.
security and
You
shit.
need to
and
wait
stuff.
for the main, promoter to call him or something. It's funny.
Wow. So why did you guys move to America?
When at the time we lived in Israel, we made some nice collaborations with Israeli artists. One of them is Barry Sakharov, and it was #1 in the charts for a while. And our egos went to the sky, and we're like, wow, we are the best producers ever. Let's try to conquer the world. I'm joking, of course, and we said, let's try to do the same thing in the US. Let's try to collab with some big names. So we did that. We moved to the US. I'm making the story short, and we managed to collaborate with amazing people, with the Doors. Raymond Zarek came to our studio for like 2 weeks, and we worked on Doors songs for Warner Brothers, and we had Jonathan Davis from Korn, Perry Farrell, Lady Gaga, some crazy stuff for a little, 2 Israelis that Duvdev after the army, and you know what I mean. It's just crazy. It's just the thought to collaborate with such big names when you're that young seems very like the right thing to do. And this is what we've done, and we fell in love with the place. US is a very comfortable place to live, and it's just a great. I don't see a reason just to come back, because it was convenient with the shows. It was convenient.
Yeah, we didn't listen. What Erez is not mentioning, we didn't move to America. We get a 1-year artist visa. So this was just coming to work and coming back to the country. That's what we got from the government. And then after a year, we said, okay, we didn't finish the work. Let's continue the visa, and we got another 1-year visa. And then they changed the law and gave us a 3 years visa. So it was a process. We fell in love with the place and just stays. It's very convenient. But we came technically for a 1-year adventure that now is in next year is 20 years in LA. LA is great. It's easy living, and we fell in love with the place and just stayed. I even tried going back to Israel a few.
Something happens with your
yeah,
sound.
I think your audio stopped working. Oh, it's better.
Just got a call, and it happened so bad. Sorry.
It's okay.
Anyway, so yeah, and we fell in love with the place and stayed there. I tried going back to Israel. I love the country, but there's nothing to beat the way of living that we're living here, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I basically did the same thing from Australia. I came here on a 3-year visa and was planning to probably not be here forever, but at this point I've been here almost 10 years, and I've been same deal. I've gone back to Australia a few times, and I'm like, this is boring.
Yeah, it's the song Hotel California. You check in, but you cannot check out. I used to think it's a very funny song, but it's a really big reality song. It's very hard to live where we're at. So yeah.
How do you feel about the crowds here versus other places in the world? Like, I know psytrance is massive in Israel. It's pretty big in Australia, huge in Brazil, obviously. How do you feel playing psytrance in America? Do you find the reactions are different to those other places, or is it pretty similar?
I think they react very well to psytrance, not in the same way maybe, but the nice thing about here that they're very open-minded to different genres, unlike like some other places, even Israel. They're less open. Like, if you're going to play dubstep in the middle of a psytrance set in Israel, they're really not going to like it. It's and the US is very open-minded to changing beats, changing tempos, just surprise them. And I like that too.
And what happened with the EDM scene over here, with companies like Insomniac and all of these, EDM is huge here. So every aspect of it is huge. Dubstep, glitch hop, trance, techno. So when you go on a stage, you can play whatever you're going to play. The crowd is not that surprised because he heard it from some other genre and stuff. So you can kind of play in between, as opposed to Brazil, if I go play a infected mushroom set and I play like a little bit of a dubstep half tempo over there, they go like, "What the fuck is he doing?" You know, because they're coming to see only a secured special set of psytrance. So what Erez is saying is the crowd over here is way easier to play some more diverse music to. I can throw out a drum and bass in there, and nobody's going to go like, "What the fuck is he doing?" You know, and that's what we like playing in America, as opposed when I go to play in Australia, psytrance tour, 7 shows. They know what they want, and they want to hear that specific sound. So that's the main difference in the American crowd.
Yeah, I find that as well. It's like they're okay with, like, because I guess like music is basically all about setting expectations and then either meeting them or not, right? And if you
Correct.
don't meet the expectations here, people don't mind the challenge. Whereas if you don't meet expectations, I find in, say, somewhere like Australia, people don't like being challenged in that way. They go like, "What the fuck? I feel slightly challenged and uncomfortable. This is bullshit."
And as much as we are an older band and we're here for so many years, we find some of the remarks very funny. You know, some promoter goes like, "I really want you to play old school music," and I go like, "What do you mean?" We're like, "Which?" He goes like, "Vicious Delicious." I go like, "That's our 6th album." So even the guys that are talking to you, sometimes they don't understand what they're saying. You know, I can play old school music.
I mean, for them, old school is maybe 5 years ago.
Correct. For them, it's
yeah,
5
it's
years
for like
ago.
5 generations,
But for me, it's from 25 years ago. So I'm just saying, I don't know what you're saying to begin with. So I really want today, in our days, that to play. Basically, we play whatever we want, me and Erez. But we kind of found a way to adjust ourselves to sets. You know, if you book us to this, book us to that, we know what to play. We have so much music to play with, so it's fun to play to the crowd. And we're lucky that we can play all over the world and have a fan base all over the world. We're just lucky.
Yeah, totally. So when you do the live sets, I imagine it takes some sort of amount of preparation beforehand. Are you able to flexibly switch up the track list for those, or is it kind of pretty much set in stone before you play the show?
Pretty much set in stone, but before the show, I kind of talk with Erez and say, "Listen, we're playing in Denver. Let's throw 3 different tracks in this show. Put it more bassy. This is more of a bassy crowd." So we kind
This
of...
can be changed until 5 minutes before the show.
Correct. We can change 5 minutes. Yeah, it's very adaptable for us.
Musicians don't always love it, but
They don't love it. I go like to
surprise them with something new. You know?
Erez goes like, "Today we're playing this and this and that. This 2 you didn't play for 10 years, and this one you don't know it. But just go ahead. Just go ahead. It's gonna be fine."
This is the chord progression. Here you go. Good luck.
Yeah.
And they're badass, and they always kill it, and it's fine. I like it sometimes even more when they first improvise. You know.
Yeah. So people who are like insanely good at music blow my mind. Like when I make melodies, or I think Duvdev's video is frozen. Whenever I make like a melody or something, it's just noodling around. Like I just draw in notes in the MIDI thing, and I never know even what key my song is at the end. And I don't even think about that shit. It blows my mind to like see someone like, for instance, a session player for an orchestra or something, where you can just give them sheet music and they just play it like a fucking MIDI instrument. Basically, it's like
Crazy.
like first time around they just nail it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I could do that. How did you learn music, by the way? Or how did you both
We
learn?
were forced by our parents, you know. If you're not learning, they will just put on your necklace that they press a button and they have electricity in it. No, I'm joking. No, you had to basically do something. And, you know, when the parents push you at such a young age, like 5 years old, you just go and do it. You know, you don't know any better. And I think both of us really fell in love with music regardless. It's like, it's a fun thing to do for us, just to sit and think about new melodies and, I don't know, just be around music. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's a fun thing. It's a fun occupation for us. It's not a job. It's not, it's like a game. Seriously, I can't believe we're getting paid for this stuff.
You primarily play piano, right? Or do you know other instruments as well?
I play guitar. Most of the Infected Mushroom guitars in the albums are me playing, but it's chopped, you know, so it's not. The good guitar parts, the people are thinking are great. Actually, synth.
Right. Do you do reamping, where you like
Yeah,
play the guitars dry and then edit them and then reamp them.
always.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, man. It took me so long to figure that shit out, but once I did, I was like, that's how you get everything sounding actually good.
Yeah, distortion always helps, you know.
It's
Yeah,
funny
yeah.
with some of our main distortion parts all over the years, people are always asking me, so which guitarist played the distortion part in Heavyweight? I go like, that's not a guitar. And this is such a known solo in Heavyweight, and I go like, that's Erez.
Yo, speaking of Heavyweight, I've still got to remix that. I've had the files for ages, and every time I like go and try to remix it, I feel like I spend like a whole day on it and I get like 5% done. Like it's like so much in that track, man. Like it's hard to pick like a motif to remix because there's so many motifs in it, and I'm like,
and I agree, and that's what's so unique about that track, or a few tracks of that. The whole point of those tracks was to do a journey of so much stuff going on and changing, and when you choose a little part of it and do it, it just doesn't do just to the track. But again, on the saying, having said that, it could be a cold heavyweight remix or part one, let's say, and then take it to a different direction completely for newer crowds. It doesn't have to do, doing just to an original. Always when I go remix something, I'm not doing just to the original because I love the original, at least me. When I choose a track, I just love it. And then people come to me and say, oh, this is so much better than the original. Well, for you, I still think the original, like, kicks. I get this a lot from people, fans of ours, says, your Foo Fighters cover is way better than the original. I go like, well, that's your taste. I love the original way better. So I didn't know. I don't know if I did it just. I just took it to a different direction, So that's
I think probably what I'm going to do with the Heavyweight remix is keep the arrangement with all the sections the same and keep each motif for each section, but just remix each section basically. And
that's great. That's a great idea. Yeah.
I feel like trying to rearrange that song is just a head fuck, man. It's like impossible.
Or doing from the end to the beginning, like change.
Yeah, do it backwards or something. I don't know. Yeah, that could possibly work. We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, hey man, I appreciate you guys taking the time to come on and chat for an hour. And yeah, welcome to come chat again anytime. I love chatting.
It's our pleasure, and I can't wait to see what you do now with the track that we're with. I kind of really love. I really love the parts, but let's make sense of it because it's a bit all over the place.
Right. Yeah. Kind of like Heavyweight too, right? It's like a lot of different parts that if you can connect them properly, awesome. But it's really fucking hard to connect them all properly. But yeah, I'm actually going to go work on it again right now. So I'll send you an update. I can send you an update tonight even.
Whenever it's ready, just send us an update. I'd love to see where you went with it.
Fuck yeah. All right, dude. Well, thanks guys.
Thank you for doing this podcast, man. You are the Joe Rogan of audio, I always call you that. You are the
EDM Joe Rogan.
I love your podcast. And,
good times, guys.
And it's an honor to be here. Thank you.
Fuck yeah. Cheers.
Bye.
Yo, what's up? Thanks for listening to the Mr. Bill podcast. This show is produced and edited by Robert Fumo. You can get early access to the show by going to my website, MrBillsTunes.com, and paying me instead of Patreon. And remember to go rate and review on iTunes, or I'm going to come to your house and punch your dog in the throat, upper deck your toilet, and fuck your partner. Note, I may or may not do those last couple of things. You should probably just go rate it on iTunes or Spotify or whatever it is that you listen to the podcast on, because it really helps the podcast. But just know that it'll go a long fucking way to me not doing those things if you do go do that. So just putting that out there.